Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. We are back out in the old guy's shed working on this 1978 Suzuki GS550. So we left off last episode working on the hole in the tailpipe there. Got some updates on that. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, so we'll take a look at that. But more importantly, we did receive in the mail from our friends at the Amazon the windscreen here. It's going to go on the motorcycle right around here. It is a universal fit type. Should go on pretty straightforward. We'll have to see how it goes and take a swing at getting that on. I'm expecting to have problems as usual, and then maybe later on today or tomorrow or the next few days we'll take another look at the carburetor. So we got lots to do. So let's get at it. Okay, so first off, let's take a look at this repair. I hope this is coming out on the camera. It looks like it should be. So yesterday, so the last episode, I had actually taken the aluminum foil I used off, and then I came out yesterday. Had quite a storm yesterday, so I only was able to get out in the morning and sanded it down, trying to smooth it out. And I sanded it enough where the only stuff left there, this stuff here, was right in the hole, and then it popped out. so I wasn't real happy about that. So I went back and redid it, and this time I'm just going to go ahead and leave it. I still have the aluminum foil over there. Over the hole. It feels like it's set up pretty good. So we're gonna leave this and see how it does. I'm thinking that so if this doesn't hold, if this comes out again, I think what I'm going to have to do then is try to find a screw and a washer and a nut, and try to fill the hole up with a real small screw with a big head and some washers, and then put this paste over top of it. So I'll see if I can find a stainless steel screw and try to rig up something to fill that hole a little bit more, and then put the paste around it to see if that will work. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave it as it is, and we'll get started on that windscreen. All right then. So far, mostly so good. so I had to. So far, I've popped these struts in here on both the top and the bottom, and then we had to put these little doodads here on the ends. That was quite the struggle. They're a pretty tight fit. One of them I had to hammer on, but we got it on this Chinesium. So anyways, so it'll be, we'll get one, and I put this doohickey here on, and it looks like we'll be pretty high on the handlebars to the top, and then down here we'll be on this section of the fork, probably for this lower one. So I still have to, so these the hose clamps here that they provide, I'm not real happy with. I think I'll be visiting the old Amazon here today to get some better hose clamps. So I'll go ahead and see if we can get this at least set up and get close. But these hose clamps aren't what I was what I was expecting. So I still got a little bit more work to go, but I think this will at least turn out okay, for getting us a little bit of windscreen protection. So we'll keep at it here and see what it looks like when we're done. All right. It's kind of fiddly and it's a little bit frustrating at times, but I think it went on pretty good here. Looks pretty even. You see, I've left a pretty good gap around the headlight and used that to kind of match up the two sides here. So we're pretty close. It may be angled a little bit one way or another here, but I think going by at 30 miles an hour, nobody will ever notice. So the one of the fiddly parts, and one of the parts I'm not real happy with, is down here with these hose clamps. So this part here in the back, let me go ahead and I'll go ahead and undo this, even even though it's against my better judgment, just to show you. Um, so yeah, so you can see this part here is held on with the hose clamp, and I went ahead and put it right up at the top just so I had a good reference point to kind of make it solid there. You can see it's angled out a little bit away, and then I put the actual screw for the hose clamp on the back side here. If I turn the wheel, I can get access to the other side. I probably should have turned it around this way, but if I did that, then the tail end of this too long hose clamp here sticks out. So for now, I think this is the right way to go about it. And then this part here just slips on with this T-nut here, if I can do it one-handed. So yeah, so the bottom, I think, like I said, I'll probably oh geez, there we go. I'll probably ride it for a little bit before I try to do any adjustments, and see how I like it here. And then at the top here, I had to put the put this U-bolt holder in on the inside, because if I had it coming around on the outside, then the cables here were interfering on this side, and the same thing over here on the other side. So I brought the holders onto the inside like this. So I think this is pretty good, and you can see from here that it's got a pretty good height to it. From sitting on it, my view is just over the top. So I think we'll get some pretty good wind protection out of it, and hopefully we will get some bug protection too. So yep, so I think it turned out pretty good. Like I said, it may need some minor tweaks here and there. If these hose clamps start to rust, we'll definitely look at replacing them. I did go up to the hardware pusher, and he actually didn't have something. I was pretty kind of disappointed and happy at the same time that my hardware pusher didn't have the other kind of hose clamps here. So I'll take a look online, but we'll go with these for now and see how they work. But other than that, I think we're good here. I think we'll go ahead and finish up for today, and then tomorrow I may take it for a ride in the morning just to warm it up, and then we'll take another shot at seeing what we can do to adjust those darn carburetors down there. So yep, we'll be back on tomorrow. Okay, then it's another day here out in the old guy's shed, and yeah, so yesterday I came out after we had gotten the new windscreen on and had put the patch in the hole in the exhaust pipe here. I went ahead and I said, well, let's go ahead and get this windscreen a road test. I still haven't figured out a way to record. I think I'm getting closer, but one of these days I'll figure out how to record while I'm taking a ride on the motorcycle. So anyways, yeah, so I went to start it up and it wouldn't start, and messed around with it a little bit, and then decided that maybe I ought to check the spark plugs. And sure enough, let's see if we can see it here. There it is right there. You can see that it's pretty black. There's so much carbon foul on that that it wouldn't even let it start up. And so I went ahead and cleaned up the other spark plugs. The good news was that, oops, that figures. Let me just, oh. All right, so we got that back. All right, so the good news was that when I looked at the spark plugs, number 2 here was actually looking pretty good. So let's see if we can. Anyways, number 2 looks real good. In fact, it looks like it might even be a little bit too lean. But anyways, oh yeah, the other thing was, so I went ahead and cleaned these spark plugs up, and motorcycle started right up, and then I took it for a ride. The windscreen works pretty good. It could have been a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, I think. But for probably the riding I'm gonna do, it's perfectly fine. The crash bar is fine. I didn't try the foot pegs there, but anyways, didn't get any rattling out of it. It stayed pretty solid. And when I got back, I checked the exhaust hole down here. Hopefully we can see this. Anyways, it was just a little bit of leaking on one side, and so I went ahead and put a bigger patch over it. Hopefully you can see that last night, and so we'll see. I think that's going to work okay. All I did is just smear some of that more stuff over it, and just gave it a real light sanding this morning. We'll see how that does. So I think I'm going to go ahead and take all the spark plugs out and see if I can clean them. I'm thinking I'll just put them in a little tub and squirt some carburetor cleaner on them and get them cleaned up. And then I'm going to go ahead and see if I can do the fuel air adjustment that's way in under here on the carburetors without taking them apart. The only other thing I can think of that I might need to do is to take the carburetor out and drop the needles one more notch. If you remember, those needles are, I think they got 3 notches, and I think right now it's in the middle notch. Not sure, I don't remember where I left them. But anyways, I think that might be the other thing to do. But hopefully I can get in here and tweak on the fuel air adjustments a little bit and see if we can get these darn things lined up without having to take the carburetor all the way out. So I'll get busy on that, and we'll see where we end up at. All right then, so I got these spark plugs cleaned up pretty darn good. So I had started off with some carburetor cleaner and a little tub, and tried to scrub them out that way, and then put some some denatured alcohol on them and tried to get them out that way. And then finally I just went ahead and broke out the old Chinesium ultrasonic cleaner here, and I had put the spark plugs in a jar full of Simply Green, and then put the whole thing in there and let them go for 45 minutes, and that's how they came out. So I rinsed them off and then hosed them down with some WD-40 after I dried them off, and after I rinsed them off and dried them off, and put some WD-40 on them. Now when I took them out, I ran into a similar thing we've seen before, where 1 and 4 were had quite a bit of carbon, and 2 and 3 actually looked okay. And I was thinking, well, heck, before 2 and 3, they had some carbon on them, and what did I change? Well, I messed with the timing, and then that brought me back to the coils being 1 and 4 being the same, and 2 and 3. And I was like, well, heck, I already got the replacement coils, so went ahead and took off the gas tank, and we got this all tore apart now. Went ahead and marked on the old ones here. We got 1 and 4 on this side and 2 and 3 on this side, so that I know where where they lined up at, and they looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. They all come into the barrel connectors here, and as long as I don't mess up the wiring, the only thing I got to do is put the spark plug ends on. And we got the spark plugs in here. The only weird thing is 2 of them are straight like this, and the other 2 are a right angle type. So I'll have to figure that out. But I think we'll go ahead and replace these. I did manage to get a screwdriver in under here, or actually I used just a flathead bit and was able to get it under the on the air screw mixture, the air mixture screw under here, and did close them about a quarter turn, both 1 and 4. just to see how that works. But I didn't. But that was before I decided to go ahead and change the coil. So, anyways, let me get these coil changed, and then we'll go from there. All right, then I got both of the coils in and got them wired in over here. I still need to clean this mess up with some zip ties. I did put a little bit extra heat shrink on the short side wire here, just to make sure we had a good coverage there. But went together pretty straightforward. No big surprises there. I did use these old spacers off from the old coils. Without them, the threads were sticking up. Pretty high. Probably wouldn't interfere with the gas tank, but I decided to go ahead and use them since it gave me the pretty good spacing there, and they might be a little bit lower, but still not too bad. So good. So I went ahead and put the spark plugs back in here, and now we need to get these wires sorted out. So the kit that the coils came in included these boots and connectors. I got two of these straight ones, and then I got two right angle ones like the old ones. These are the old ones. One that I already took off just to make sure to see how they work. And these actually just screw on. Here's the old one, and you can see it just screws on. And I wanted to get this distance here, how much cable I needed to leave for the boot to fit in here. So here's an old one that's put together. I didn't take apart yet. So this boot here comes off. It's more like a cover, and then the main body here just screws right off from the wire. So we'll have to get the measurements now. I think I've got these lined up and got them figured out. I mean, I keep my coils here, so I know 4 and 1 on this side. So I know that this wire that comes out on this side of this guy is number 4, and the one that comes out over here is number 1. And then on the other side, this is coming out as 2, and then the other one's 3. So I decided to use the straight boot here on the number 2 cylinder, and I think that'll work pretty good. And then I'll use the angled one here on number 1. So I'll go ahead and put the boots on, and then figure out how long to cut the cable, because we will have to. I don't want to have too much here. That'd be way too much spark plug wire. So I'll probably take 4 or 5 inches off of it at least. And then looks like all you got to do is screw it in. So see if we can get that done, and be back in a little bit. Okay then, so yep, got the coils and the spark plug boots on, all in and tight, and that went pretty good. They just screw right on. It's kind of difficult to figure if you're tight enough or not. But anyway, so I think I did a pretty good job there. Got them all cut to pretty decent length. Did the wire cleanup underneath. Put the gas tank back on. Didn't put the seat on yet because I'm kind of anxious to get this running. It's getting a little bit late here too. So wanted to get this, give it a shot, see if we can fire this up. So we got the carburetor on. Get the there's everything's on. All right, come on, baby. Let's give me a start here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, good enough. We'll call that good for today. So I think we're on the right track here. Next couple days, I'll get back out here and let it warm up, and then we'll put the color tune back in and see how we're doing. Seeing if putting the new coils in has helped out on the carbon fouling. May take another shot at doing some adjustments on the carb if we have to. I don't want to take the carb out again unless I really have to. But anyways, for now, we'll go ahead and finish up here. I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Please leave me any comments, questions, suggestions down below. Please tell your friends about me. And please subscribe. Everyone, take care and be good.